Hello everyone! Today I'm here to talk about a pretty hot topic, something that every actor thinks about at some point in their career, usually at the beginning, joining the union. It is a lot of information, and so this is going to be split into two videos. You can get this first chunk today, and then the second half of the video is going to be posted sometime next week. Make sure to hit that subscribe button so that you don't miss it. You don't want to miss it! Okay, let's jump into the video. When we actors are talking about the union, at least actors that do film and TV and on-camera work, we are talking about SAG-Aftra. Little history lesson, SAG-Aftra used to be two unions up until pretty recently. There was SAG. I'm not sure which one came first, I'm sorry. First there was SAG, which was the Screen Actors Guild, and then there was AFTRA, which is the American Federation of Television and Radio Artists. So, actors that worked on TV and radio were covered. I'm guessing voiceover actors. I think some dancers were covered under that union. I'm not exactly sure. This is the worst history lesson ever. They had separate contracts. SAG was usually the better union to work under. The contracts usually had better pay, better residuals, but not always, but usually. And they had two separate health and pension departments. So if you booked a show that was a SAG show and you had your earnings for that, and then you booked a show that was an AFTRA show and you had earnings for that, you couldn't combine them in order to get insurance from both. You could either have the AFTRA insurance or the SAG insurance. It wasn't good. Some contracts even are still just SAG or AFTRA. It's still a little bit messy, and that's a whole other irritating thing, but we are not going to get into that right now. But anyway, they merged in 2012 and now they are one union. So first off, why would someone want to join the union? Money. There are lots of other reasons to join, like really well-regulated working hours and meals on set, excellent health insurance, discounts and freebies around town at movie theaters and stuff like that. But mostly it's because you make more money. I'll explain all of that today. And for the most part, if you are SAG-Aftra, if you have that little SAG-Aftra logo on your resume, you are looked at as a professional actor. Okay, so about that money. Money. When you're an actor in the union, you're entitled to commissioned pay. That means that when you do a commercial or a TV show or a movie that ends up on TV or a movie that's in theaters, whatever it is, you get paid for that day, you get paid your regular wages, and you also get paid for its future airings. And the union regulates that pay and keeps track of it so you can be sure that you're getting paid the right amount. You do have to put some faith into the union and into your agents and and the powers that be to make sure that you are getting credit for every time that thing is airing, because there really, as far as I know, is no way to know about every single airing that happens. You just kind of have to trust that everyone is doing their job and being real honest. There is one thing though that you can have control over as far as keeping track of your commercials, and that is dates. If you look on your pay stubs or your contract, it'll usually say the dates that are covered by that paycheck. And you can go on either iSpot.tv, or if you see the commercial or if your friends see the commercial past the date that it is that you're being paid for it to air, then you need to make sure your agent is aware of that, because there are big penalties that the production company has to pay if they are airing a commercial and they haven't paid you for it yet. So getting back on track here, if you are not in the union, then that money is not really regulated. They just pay you the amount that you agreed to be paid. I don't even think you're entitled to the overtime that you get when you're on a SAG-Aftra contract. It's just so much less regulated. I have worked on non-union jobs before I was in the union, and it's just, you feel a lot less taken care of, is the best way I can put it. And no commissions. So you get paid for that day, and that's it. In addition to the pay, everything else is regulated when you do a union job, from the amount of hours that you are allowed to work before you get a meal break, the amount of hours that you need to be offset and home and asleep before they can have you come back the next morning, how far they're allowed to have you travel for a shoot without paying you. If you end up using any of your own clothes, they have to pay you for that. Even stuff like sexual harassment on set, you're very well protected there. There's representatives from SAG-Aftra that come to sets randomly and check on the actors and make sure everything is all good. Personally, one of my favorite parts of being in the union is getting to vote. If you're part of the union and you are paid up on your dues, very important, you get to vote on on actors that are nominated for SAG-Aftra movies and TV. It coincides with Christmas time, so right around the holidays, when you're going on your holiday break, sometimes they send them later than that, which is, they used to send them always like before the holiday break, which was so nice, but you get the DVDs in the mail for the nominated movies. It used to be all DVD. Now there's so many other ways you can watch movies and TV that you can either send you like a link where you can stream it, or they'll give you movie tickets so you can go see it in the theater, which is really cool. For free, my favorite thing, free. It is during award season. I'm sure you know about the SAG Awards. I think it's one of the last awards in the show lineup. I think the Oscars is like the last one, but the SAG Awards is really, really cool. If you've ever watched it, it's very much focused on the actors, and they always start out like going around the room and having people talk about how they got their SAG card, and when they give their acceptance speech, they know that their peers voted for them. It always seems to mean a little bit more to them. It's fun for me to know that like I got to vote and I got to have some sort of say and got to like help champion the actors who I really was impressed by that year. I don't know if you guys can hear this, but my neighbor's lawn is being mowed. I'm really, really sorry if that's loud and annoying. We're gonna get through it. All right, so I told you all these great things about being in the union, so why wouldn't you want to be in the union? Sometimes people don't want to be in the union. They don't, and I'll tell you why. There is quite a good amount of work that is non-union, unfortunately for me and other actors that are in the union. The number of jobs that are going non-union, as they call it, is growing and growing and growing, because some producers like that they don't have to pay into the pension and health for actors, they don't have to pay residuals, they're less regulated, all those great things for actors that I talked about before. Some production companies like not having to do that, and if they hire non-union actors, they risk getting people who are a lot less experienced, and I guess they're okay with that. Now, once you join the union, you are not allowed to go do non-union work. Side note, there is something that's called financial core, where you basically go ask the union if you can do non-union work, and then you're considered not in the union anymore. It's kind of confusing. There's information on the SAG-Aftra website about it, but I do know that it can kind of be looked down upon, but some people like to do that so that they can go ahead and do non-union jobs, or people like to just never join the union in the first place so they can have access to all those non-union jobs. If you are someone who is considering making this decision, I just want you to really look into it and do your homework, because you will not get to vote on those awards. You will not get to have a lot of the benefits that you get with being officially in the union. So there's that. My last little talking point for this first part of the video is that there's something called SAG eligible, and there's also being called must join. They're very, very similar. They essentially mean the same thing. They mean that you're at a point where you, like, the very next step is officially joining the union. Like, you have done non-union work and now you're about to join the union. SAG eligible and must join, they're a little bit different as far as how long you have before you have to join. Again, all that info, specific information, is on the SAG-Aftra website, and they, if you call them, it's going to be even better for you to like talk it out with them and to really understand what the difference is, because in all the research I did, it was all pretty conflicted and it's not clear which one is which. There's just a lot of like misinformation, so make sure you talk directly to SAG-Aftra if you are interested in learning about being SAG eligible and being a must join. When I joined the union, I was SAG eligible for a little while, and everyone kept telling me that that was the best place to be and to stay SAG eligible for a very long time, as long as I could, so that I could do union and non-union jobs. But from my research today, it kind of seems like that's not as ideal. Just my experience is from a while ago, and things just might have changed, so I just want you to look out for yourself. Okay, you guys, this is it for you and me today. I am going to keep recording, but I'm not going to post the second half until next week, so you're not overloaded with information. The second part of this video is going to be about how to actually join the union. Very important information. So, I'll see you then. Bye.